Interview. I'm John Woods, and today I'm joined by Paul Pettigrew, the founder of Gamtalk, a fantastic organisation who are working to help raise awareness about gambling addiction and problem gambling. We've spoken to Paul before, but that was about 6 months ago, and in the last 6 months, what has changed at Gamtalk and the company's really progressed. So I'm really excited to do this one. How you doing, Paul?
Not bad, mate. Not bad. Glad to be here.
I'm conscious, some people might have missed your last interview, so would you mind just giving me a brief background of Gamtalk and why you founded it?
Aye, so Gamtalk is a prevention service for problem gambling. It was founded in September of last year, and the motto behind it is "Don't gamble with your future." So for me, I struggled with a gambling addiction from when I was 18 till just before I turned 22. I'm 24 now, and it was a project that basically started in order to kind of like when I was stopping gambling. It was to help me get over it, and it took a couple of years after that to eventually be launched. But since I have, the whole aim behind it is to get in as many schools, sports clubs and youth groups as I possibly can. Just speak to as many young people as I can.
So obviously we've been in lockdown for the last wee while, but how have you managed to keep Gamtalk going through lockdown?
It's just being creative. It's thinking of different things, thinking outside the box. I remember there was a couple of days where I get quite, I wouldn't say down, but I looked, there was nothing going on in the diary. Things weren't growing or progressing at all, and I probably had a wee kind of fright, to be honest. So I decided to take myself and go sleep on the streets for a week, and that really kind of made it grow massively overnight. And then from there, more people were able to see my work, and more people started to share it. And it's just thinking outside the box and trying to be creative.
Yeah, well, you've actually led into that perfectly. I was going to say, in October, you released the details of your Gamtalk on the Streets initiative. Can you just describe exactly what that involved?
So it was a week of me sleeping on the streets of Glasgow. So I'm from Port Glasgow. So it was just that. It was sleeping rough myself, and it was to raise awareness and raise funds for different charities. I raised about £7,500 for different charities in different kind of sectors, and it really it made the following grow a lot. It made a lot more people aware of my work, and it was brilliant. It was brilliant for what I do, and brought probably maybe about a year's worth of progress into kind of a week. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. How did it feel being able to speak to people on the streets and really connect to them, and what did you take from it? It
was an amazing experience. It was freezing and it was long and tiring, but you get an appreciation of life that you can't get probably doing anything else, to be honest. You appreciate the fact that you've got clothes and a house and food every night and things like that. And so these people, they're so scared every day because they don't know where they're going to sleep. They don't know if they're going to be attacked, they're going to be abused. Obviously, they're looked at in a different light. So it was an experience, to say the least.
Yeah, so following on from your Gamtalk on the Streets, in the past 6 months you've also made it onto the news in STV. How did that come about?
That was just shortly after I slept on the streets. So they just got in touch and says that they wanted to do a bit about my work and to try and raise more awareness of gambling addictions in general. So that was good. And it was a good piece they did as well.
Much like the On the Streets initiative, do you think that really helped get Gamtalk out there and bring a big kind of sudden following?
I think the radio appearances and or STV and stuff, it all did help, but it's probably more so just, what it's like, the power of social media, like people sharing it from everywhere. Last week I put a post out and it went it did all right, if you want to say that, in terms of likes and shares and whatever. And a lot of people started sharing from Ireland and then people from Leeds. So I tried to kind of source it back to where it came from, but I couldn't find it. But it's great to see things like that. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't expect things like that to happen.
You mentioned likes there, and one of the things you've done on social media just through a video was you did a massive video and you asked everyone to not like the video. Can you just describe what that was?
Growing up in this era now, and even more so for young people that are growing up after us, there's such an impetus on your social media status and how many likes you get, how many followers you have, and young people now are valuing their self-worth on their social media status, and I just don't think that's right at all. It's not the way you should be valuing yourself, and it can only lead to mental problems later on down the line, in my opinion. I always give the example of if me and you, for example, are in a classroom and you're on one side getting 500 likes on your picture you put up last night, and I'm on the other side of the class getting 5 likes, like maybe my granny, my mum, and 2 of my pals have liked it or something, I feel like, you know, inferior to you, and that just shouldn't be the way you value yourself at all. It should be on how you treat people and, you know, different things like that, but not on social media. It's not important.
Yeah. One of the things that kind of brought me to Gamtalk was you announced your first ambassador, Lawrence Shanklin. So how did you manage to get Lawrence?
Talking to a guy who talked to a guy who talked to a guy, one of them. It's such a weird story with Shanklin, because I remember saying to one of my pals, literally in September when I launched, I thought, I want to get an ambassador within my first year. And I don't know why, I'd never even really heard all that much about him, but I remember seeing that he'd scored a goal or something, or I was looking back on the highlights when he played with United, and I thought, I'm going to try get that guy. And I think I just kind of focused on it then and ended up getting him. And from the minute I messaged him, he's been absolutely top notch. He's been brilliant.
So what are you working with Lawrence to do? Is he just helping raise awareness?
I just got Lewis Morgan on what was that, Monday there as well. So a pair of them, they just help it grow massively. Do you know what I mean? They can help open doors that they can help open doors that maybe I couldn't. Do you know what I mean? And and about the football community as well. If people see that they're sharing stuff, they're more likely to go have a wee look at it. So they've been brilliant for it, a pair of them. Yeah,
and also Gamtalk's picked up a sponsor in Black Rooster 𝗜𝗡𝗪𝗜𝗪. What's going to help you sponsor? What are they going to do?
So the owner, Mick, he has said he'll donate £500. He's going to donate £500 towards some work in schools. We've not allocated the schools yet, but it's not overly important. I mean, maybe he might want to do schools that are in his area that I've got so far. But he's going to fund that work so that the cost to the school is nothing.
Just honestly, you've covered quite a lot so far, but I'd love to know what your plan for the future is. Firstly, short term, and then just your overall future goals for Gamtalk.
The goals for Gamtalk will probably always remain the same, to be honest. It's getting in front of as many young people as I possibly can, whether that's in schools, sports clubs, youth groups, doesn't matter. Age, race, gender, anything, as many young people as I can get in front of. I think that without being big-headed, I think that they can take some value from my work and learn something from it, and just hopefully help as many young people avoid the years of misery that I went through, to be honest. That's a simple aim from day one, and that'll be it forever, I think.
Have you got any, obviously absolutely everything you've done so far will be a highlight to you, but have you got any real moments that have kind of stayed with you through Gamtalk, like touching moments where you've realised you've made an impact?
You get messages that come through from people who say that the videos have helped or my advice has helped, and they're always brilliant to read. A standout moment for me, probably my first school that I did, invited into first school, and nerves I had travelling there, everything, it was brilliant. And then you get it done and it's just a complete adrenaline rush. You just want to keep doing more and more, and it motivated me to continue trying to get some more, because that was always the aim that I wanted to do, but I had never did it yet. So it's one of them, you don't know if you're going to be any good at it, and trust me, I've got plenty improvements to make. But as soon as I did it, I thought, no, this is for me, definitely. This is what I want to do in my life.
Yeah, perfect. Just before I wrap it up, I'm just going to leave the floor open. Do you have anything you want to say just to the people watching this?
No, just if there's any parents, any coaches who feel that they want to get any advice from me, whether that be just one-to-one, or they want me to go into their club or their school, please just reach out. If any young people have any struggles at all, again, please reach out. Everything is in complete confidence, and that's it.
Perfect. Honestly, thank you very much. It's been just been a nice short one, but I think people will take a lot from this. So thank you very much.
No problem, mate. Thanks very much.